Alright, so today I'm gonna be answering some of your comments, but first I gotta do something about that. Alright, so
let's get this done.
My wife and kids and some of you commenters think that I look like a homeless caveman. Katie's gonna fix it for me.
We're starting a next chapter in your life.
They think I've let myself go.
I've been saying that.
You let yourself go. You don't dress nice anymore. You don't comb your hair. You don't shower. I shower. I shower at least 3 times a week. Oh my God, look at there. It's all gone.
Just remember where you got the haircut, okay?
Thank you, Katie. There it is. That's a grow on me a little bit. I'm still shell-shocked. This is my sister-in-law too. A couple of you have asked me this question, and I wanted to ask her so that she can answer you guys. How are you so successful?
I think hard work.
She works like how
I
many
work
hours do you put
at
in?
least 12 to 14 hours a day,
6 days a week,
7 days.
7 days sometimes.
You have to love what you do. That's my passion, and I don't
just
know,
like to
just
tell you,
work
like-
hard.
I mean, you've been doing hair for
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah,
And
15.
she has like a really strong following. Her crew here's one of them.
Here, Isaac.
Isaac.
Here. Shy.
There you go. She has a good crew, a good squad here, so that helps. Wu has a day job. Is he working now? Where's he at?
He is in school right now.
Oh, so yeah, he's at school. He has a day job, and he helps run the salon. So yeah, it's all about hard work and dedication and loving what you do. That's pretty much it. It's easy.
The most important is you have to love.
Yeah, you definitely gotta love what you do.
You
That's why I quit my IT job. I didn't love it. I hated it actually. Oh, the other question was, do you make fun of me for not having a real job? Yeah,
Yes.
but I don't let it get to me.
But
I
deep
just
down, we're just like really.
No,
joking
she's really supportive. I think most people are pretty supportive of what I do. Most people. All right, too. Thank you. Oh, this is my phone.
Oh yes.
Katie, thank you. I look like a new man.
Yeah, you do.
There you go, Katie.
Like it was like
Thank you.
glued back, and now it's like forward.
I need more glue in my hair. So there you go. There is absolutely no secret for success. It just boils down to hard work. By the way, check out my brother's new car. Yeah, he got another new car. Beautiful car. I can't believe Kia makes a car that looks like that. Recently, YouTube gave me access to the community tab, and I posted a photo asking you guys for your questions. Most of them are coming from 2 people, Bob My Crush and Lux Lifestyle. You guys had a ton of questions, and then there was a couple other random questions here and there. But I'm not going to get through all of them. But moving along, let's start from the top of Bob My Crush's list. Do you regret quitting your IT job? No, I don't. Do my parents approve of me quitting my IT job? I'm 40 years old. I don't need my parents' approval, but for the most part, they are very supportive of everything I do. I spoke with them for months before I actually quit my job, and they told me that if I don't like what I'm doing, then you need to make changes. We can't spend like we used to when I was working full-time, but honestly, it really hasn't changed too drastically, but I think we're doing okay. Are you happy with where you're at now? I feel a lot happier than when I was working for this company. I mean, it wasn't a bad company, but I'm now in control of my own destiny. How much money or how much success is based on how hard I work. I'm in total control of my own destiny. The next question was, have you found your purpose in life? I don't know. No, I don't know. That's a very tough question. I don't think anybody can answer that, honestly. I feel like right now, I want to create and share and tell stories. That's what I think my purpose is right now. I don't know if that's my purpose in life. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this in 5 or 10 years. Who knows? Things change. So I just know that at this point, I'm going to keep moving forward, building this whole thing up, and we'll see what happens. Casey's income takes care of most of our expenses, like the house and things like that. And then my money, the money that I make from photography, from videos, that's the money that I use to travel. And actually, that was another question. How do you fund your traveling? From my photography gigs, from my video gigs. My only expenses really are my mortgage and obviously everything that comes with it, like the utilities, our groceries, things like that. I'm really focused on my experiences right now. I want to do more traveling, and I want to have less stuff. When I was working my full-time job, I would just buy things. I would just buy things all the time. I have a basement full of things yet that I still have to get rid of. If you focus on experiences and less on acquiring things, it's really easy to find the money to travel. There's no magic. Also, side pro tip, get yourself a good points card. I have an Amex Premier Rewards Gold card and a Chase card, and whenever I have to buy something for like my business and when I do my day-to-day shopping, everything goes on those cards, so I'm constantly accumulating points. That helps quite a bit, especially at the end of the year when you open up your balance and you're like, wow, you got 75,000 points to spend on whatever, plane tickets.
That's better, huh?
You like it? See, I knew you guys would make fun of me. Like, cut your hair. Cut your hair. You look like I look like a little boy. Actually, I do like that. I just don't do that. So, Casey and the girls really like the haircut, especially Casey. Speaking of Casey, Bob wants to know whether my lack of income and work puts a strain on our relationship. I didn't really want to get into this, but what I'll say is that yes, of course it does. If you've ever been in a marriage, any money issues puts a strain on the relationship. If you're thinking about quitting your day job and you're worried about what your wife's gonna say, stay with the day job. Also, since we're on the subject, Lux Lifestyle wants to know if my wife is happy about what I'm doing. I wouldn't say she's happy with this situation, but she's definitely supportive. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. And I think that's pretty much it for all the entrepreneurial, quitting your job related stuff. To wrap that all up, just know that it is not easy. I struggle every day with my decisions. I do feel a lot happier in general. I feel like my life is headed in the right direction. I'm definitely not where I want to be as far as my career goes, but it's a work in progress. Anyway, moving along, Bob also wants to know what were the last 5 books that I've read. And to be honest, I really don't read a whole lot, but within the last year and a half, I started reading a lot more. Still definitely nowhere near like someone like my daughter. My daughter reads like 5 books a week. But for me, in the last year, I did read about, I think, six or 7 books. The last 5 books I read, this is Survival in the Killing Fields. Really, really great book by a person that unfortunately he passed away several years ago, but he was in the movie The Killing Fields, and this is his book, Hang Muir. Just a really, really great read. Warning though, it can get kind of gruesome in some areas, but you learn a lot about life during the times of the mass genocide. I highly, highly recommend this. I also read First They Killed My Father. That was a book that was on loan from a friend. I don't have it with me. That's a decent read. Next one up is Joe Brinkley's Cambodia's Curse. This one is more of a political book. It goes deep into the whole system, the whole Cambodian political system, and it kind of sheds some light on why the country is kind of messed up. It's a decent read, but very, I don't know, it's very long-winded. But definitely you gotta check this out if you're interested in history of Cambodia and why things are the way they are now. Next book is Rebel Without a Crew. This is by Robert Rodriguez, and I was interested in this because I really like Robert Rodriguez's movies, and I want to learn more about filmmaking. And this here is a great book if you're interested in filmmaking. Highly recommended. It really gives you some insight into how the whole filmmaking world works and how he puts together his movies. My next book is written by Anthony Bourdain. I'm sure you've all heard by now that he's no longer with us. But this is, I know it's a cookbook, but there are lots of neat little stories that go along with his recipes, and just, it has that Anthony Bourdain wit. I mean, it is a really good read, and it has some really great recipes in it as well, especially my favorite, let me see if I can locate it, his budae jjigae recipe. I actually have a video where I made this, and I absolutely love his version of budae jjigae. And like I said, he tells stories alongside of his recipe, so highly recommended. And finally, I know this is that's actually 6 books now. Cooking the Cambodian Way. Again, this is another book that, along with the recipes, also tells little stories about each of the recipes, the food items, the history of Cambodian food, and why we use some of the ingredients. This book is interesting because it's one of the only few original cookbooks from Cambodia. There aren't too many from back in the old days, back before the Khmer Rouge times, and this is one of them. So it's kind of a special book. It's written by Narin Seng Jameson. They're just a collection of old school Cambodian recipes, different recipes that are kind of a little bit more difficult to find these days because, Cambodian moms don't really write their recipes down. Speaking of Cambodian moms, Bob also wants to know whether or not my mom is ethnic Chinese. No, she's not. My mom is part Laos, Thai, and mostly Cambodian. I'm sure there's a little mix of Chinese in there somewhere, but my mom identifies as Cambodian, actually Korat, which is a Thai-Cambodian mix. I think that's enough questions from Bob. Let's move on to the other questions. Lux Lifestyle wants to know what made my family plant our roots here in PA. Well, our sponsors are from this area. They're actually associated with the church out in Annville, Cleona, which is a town next door to Lebanon. So that's the reason why. That whole church brought over several families, and we all settled here in this area. Now, some of the families have since moved on to like Philadelphia and Connecticut and out on the West Coast. Like my mom's family all lives out on the West Coast. So there are still quite a few families here. I want to say maybe about between 200 and 300 people in total. But I would say like a third of the original families that settled here have since picked up and moved on to more prosperous areas. Did I go to college? I took about 2 years of college. My focus was on business computer programming. From there, I sort of just worked my way up, and that's kind of how I became an IT professional. Just to add on to that, I worked in IT for about 17 years, and it took maybe about 15 to realize that this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. So, and rolling into the next question, Lux Lifestyle wants to know if I think I'm experiencing a midlife crisis. I think the years leading up to quitting my job, that 2 years, I feel like I did. I don't think I'm experiencing any crisis right now. It's definitely difficult, but for me, this is almost like a hard reboot. But like I said earlier, I feel like I'm on the right path now. I don't think I'll ever go back into the IT field. If I do, it'll definitely not be in a corporate environment where I'm sitting in a cubicle. I did not like that at all. VL wants to know, how do you and the Cambodian community fit into Lebanon so seamlessly? Have there been any conflicts due to us being Asian? Yes, there was. Lebanon is very much, or at least 35, 40 years ago, Lebanon was very much just, there were no minorities. So we were some of the first. There were people that were racist against us, and it took a long time to really integrate into this community. But now most people know the families here. They know that the Cambodians are very hardworking. So we really don't get a whole lot of trouble when it comes to like racism and things like that, because the Cambodians have learned to get along with all the races here. White people, black, Puerto Rican, whatever. We get along with them all. Oh, here's a good one. Nicholas Yang wants to know, would you rather have access to unlimited money but be stuck in Lebanon, or be able to travel anywhere at any time? And that is an easy question to answer. I think I'd rather be able to travel anywhere at any time, because money is not the key to happiness. And I'm going to wrap it up with another question from Lux Lifestyle, because I think this is a really good one. And I think some people are following me because they're looking for inspiration. What's some inspiration and wisdom you can give to our youth today? Take chances now. Wherever you are, don't get stuck because you're too into cars and you're just loving your young life in your little town wherever you're from. Because that's what I did. I didn't take the opportunity when I was young to travel and explore. Between the ages of 19 and 25, there were many opportunities for me to travel, and I spent all of my money on cars and trying to date girls and just wasting my life on people and things that have absolutely no place. It did not affect or improve my life at all. And if I had focused on expanding my knowledge of the world, whether it be through travel or through just experiencing different cultures, I think I would have been better off now. I think I would have been better off in the long run. So if I have to give you guys some inspiration, if you're in your early 20s or even your late 20s, and you're trying to figure out where you want to be in life, just get out there. Go out there, save all your money and travel. I think that is a big thing. I think young people nowadays they get so wrapped up in their own little universes. And I see this time and time again with young people. They're so into their relationships. When you're 18, 19, 20 years old, I'm sorry, but those relationships are not going to last. I hate to say it, but and if they are meant to last, then they're going to be okay with you going and coming back. Because as a matter of fact, that's kind of an interesting story with my wife. We dated on and off since I was 17 years old. And there was a time where, we were apart for years. And, we got back together and boom, it just hit off. So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So, all right, I think that's it. I think this Q&A has been long enough. I'm going to end this by asking you guys a question. Where are you guys from? And what's your situation like? How'd you guys find me? I'd love to know more about my viewers, so leave the comments down below. As always, if you made it this far, hit the thumbs up. And if you're new around here, subscribe for more videos. And that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hey guys, this is Bob.
That's not
Ew!